So we are with Dr Mostafa Waziri, the head of the Antiquities. Before it was at the head of the Antiquities in Luxor, and since last September you are the General Secretary of the Council of Antiquities. Alf Mabroukia, Doctor.
Thank you.
Yes. And at the same time, you sign a wonderful discovery in Thebes West, in Drahabwen Naga. You find some wonderful tombs. So Alf Mabrouk for this too. 2 weeks ago, we have the pleasure to see the ministry, Khaled Al-Anani, stay at the head of the Antiquities, and at the same day, he make a lot of proposition axes for the antiquity service, like the Great Egyptian Museum, the restitution of Egyptian antiquities, opening of some regional Egyptian museum, and find a solution to the financial crisis of the ministry. And of course, we will have some works with the pyramids in Général or in Giza. So, could you tell me, Doctor, just in few words about the Great Egyptian Museum? What is your perception?
Okay,
Yes.
good. Once again,
Yes.
I'm very happy to receive you here.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Egypt. Welcome to the office.
Thank you
As
so
the
much.
Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities,
Yes.
and as I've heard from your introduction, of course, yes, they are right that I was a director. I was a general director of the Luxor Antiquities Office.
Yes.
And we did a lot of good excavations in Luxor, not only in Dra'ab al-Naga and everywhere. And just to tell you something good before I start, that we have more than 25 Egyptian missions are working almost everywhere. And the results in 2017 and the 2018, that the Egyptian mission, it was #1 among all the foreign missions everywhere in Egypt. We are not working, not digging only in Luxor. In fact, once I became the Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, now we started excavations almost everywhere in Egypt, not only in Luxor. Also, we have excavations in Aswan, we have excavations in Sohag, we have also excavations in Tuna El Gabal, El Minya, and we do have also excavations in the Western Cemetery of Giza Plateau. And Lower Egypt, we do have also a lot of excavations. In 2017, under the supervision of Dr. Khaled Anani, the Minister of Antiquities, that we are very happy to work with a gentleman like this, good personality, good knowledge man. He's a very knowledgeable man. He's giving us all what we need, all the support that we need, he's providing us with. So, for the excavations, we do have a lot. For inaugurations, everybody was following, not only in Egypt, all over the world, that museums everywhere, national museums, local museums, site museums, which is very, very important. Recently, a couple of months ago, we opened a museum in Tanis, in Sharqiya Zakazik, and Tanta Museum, Marsa Matruh Museum. We do work in Kafr Sheikh Museum. We are gonna continue the work in Sharm Sheikh Museum. We also gonna start the museum in Hurghada, especially for the tourists and this tourism field, who they used to stop in Sharm Sheikh and Hurghada. They have nothing to do except windsurfing, swimming, suntan, relaxing. So the museum, it means like it's a good appetizer for those tourists to see something there as a culture stuff. Within 2 weeks or more, less, we're gonna open the Museum of Sohag. Can you imagine that the foundation stone of this museum, it was in 1989? Can you imagine that they start doing their own planning and stuff like this in 1993, and then they stopped for almost 25 years. Dr. Khaled Al-Anani museum sector, Egyptian sector, project sector, all together hand in hand. We start actually working, and now the museum is finished and we are waiting for the good timing for the inauguration. Yes. After 25 years, nothing there. Yes. So talking for our main target, our main point, which is GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum. Yes. Yes. This is, I don't want to say it, I don't want to call it like this, it's a museum. It's not a museum, it's a compound.
Yes.
It's a massive building. It's 117 Faddam, by the way.
Yes.
It's very huge. It's over something like 500,000 square meters.
Yes.
500,000 square meters. Yes. You can imagine how big, how huge.
Yes.
It's a giant museum. Of course, before the revolution, they start working, and then after the revolution, everything stopped. Yes. For almost 6 years. Nothing. Till let's talk about year and a half ago, also the time of Dr. Khalid Anani, with the project sector or engineering sector of the Egyptian army. They start actually working year and a half ago, very hard. Yes. Egyptian government supporting this international museum. Yes. With money, with everything, with all the help. So let's talk about, by the end of this year, 2018, the constructions will be finished completely. Yes. Will be finished completely, the constructions. Yes. How about the opening? I don't know yet. Maybe the beginning of 2019 or something. But I'm talking about the constructions will be finished completely, inshallah, by the end of this year, 2018. Yes. How many pieces will be there? If we're going to talk about the treasures of the King Tut, yes, that's going to be the first time that the tourists or the visitors can see all of them together in one place, which is over 5,000 pieces, 5,000 objects. But before that, how about Cairo Museum? No, they were not all the pieces there. Because some they were in Cairo Museum, some they were in Luxor Museum, some they were in the Army Museum in the Citadel of Salahuddin, some they were in the magazine, by the way. But now everything will be there. Till today, we can say over 4,000 pieces of the King Tut already moved, yes, to the Grand Egyptian Museum, and the rest is still there in Cairo Museum. But we're gonna move them within a couple of months, yes, like the mosque, the throne, the chapels, the kiosks, and also for the first time, that the visitor can see the 6 chariots together in one place. Yes. Before that, one in Luxor, couple of them in 4 of them in Cairo Museum, one in the Army Museum in the Citadel. So now, for the first time, there are 6 of them in one place. Yes. They are very happy. Some of the tourists, they are a little bit worried. They say, how about Cairo Museum? Do you think that he's gonna die? I'm gonna answer, of course not. Number one, the pieces of the King Tut, that we're gonna move them from Cairo Museum to the Grand Egyptian Museum, we're gonna replace them immediately with the treasures, golden treasures of Yuya and Tuya and Tanis treasures. Yes, so gonna be such a great one. Yes, so nothing will change. So Grand Egyptian Museum, we were very lucky that a couple of days ago, the new Prime Minister of Egypt, he paid a visit to the Grand Egyptian Museum, and he was very happy, he was very satisfied, and he was listening to the explanation of His Excellency Dr. Khalid Al-Anani about what we did, what we are doing, and then he started asking, do you need any help? Do you need any support from the Egyptian government? Do you need any support from me as Prime Minister of Egypt? So we were very happy that the Egyptian government, the Prime Minister himself, he's really taking good care of the tiny details of this Grand Egyptian Museum as one of the international projects all over the world. And Minister of Tourism, they're still asking, when will be, because a lot of travel agency, they are asking, when is there going to be the opening, inaugurations? Everybody really happy to have the chance to visit. Nowadays, some of the travel agencies, they're asking, would like to have a look, to imagine how big, how huge, how nice, how lovely. So how about this Grand Egyptian Museum? Inside, we have laboratories. Yes. We have storerooms. We have the giant statue of the King Ramses II. We have the pillar of Merim Betah. We're going to move also a couple of statues of Amenhotep III. We have a bunch of pieces. So if we'll talk about the 2 holds, one for the treasures of the King Tut, which is over 5,000 pieces, and the second one will be 40,000, 45,000, 35,000, something like this. Will be thousands of pieces, by the way, will be exhibit also in the second hall next to the hall of the King Tut.
Yes.
So I'm very happy. It's not hypocrite.
Yes.
I'm very happy that the one who's running the Ministry of Antiquities is Dr. Khalid Anani. With this open-minded,
Yes.
he's a great man.
Yes.
He's supporting everyone working in this Ministry of Antiquities.
Yes. And he learned in France. He learned in France.
He did learn in
Yes.
French.
Yes.
In France, he speaks very good
Well,
French,
French.
fluent French.
Yes.
He used to work also for the FAO.
Yes,
He used to work as a tourist guide.
Yes.
He used to wow.
Yes,
He has great CV.
Yes.
So he's a good man, the right man, in the right place, in the right moment.
All is wonderful.
All
is wonderful.
are really great.
But I can ask you something. Some pieces of treasure of Tutankhamun were in Luxor. So in April they came here in Cairo. No one will return to Luxor Museum. No one.
No, it's not like this. Every museum in Egypt
Yes.
has his own taste.
Oui.
Before that, all the treasures, they were in Cairo Museum.
Oui.
Most of them in Cairo Museum. The tourists, they used to visit Cairo Museum and Luxor Museum.
Yes.
They are not visiting Luxor Museum for those couple of pieces of the King Tut there.
Yes.
No, we have the cachet, we have the alabaster pieces, we have the extension
Yes.
of Luxor Museum. We have the mummy of Ahmose, we have the mummy of Ramses I.
Yes.
We have a lot of pieces in Luxor Museum, has nothing to do with only the King Tut.
Yes.
We have over 1,000 pieces there.
Yes.
The pieces of the King Tut, they were 122.
Yeah,
And by the way, there were 3 main ones, and the rest they were small pieces like
Yes.
little flowers.
Oui,
Yeah,
oui.
so which
Il y avait
it
des
means.
Égyptiens aussi.
And
Yes.
Oshaptis, little Oshaptis,
Yes.
they were numbers.
Yes.
But in fact, there were a couple of pieces only, but the rest are okay.
Yes.
I believe, because I used to work also as a tourist guide, so
Yes.
I believe that's not affecting negatively or badly the tourists to visit Luxor
Yes.
Museum. Then, how about Luxor itself? Luxor, don't forget that Luxor, it was the home place of the King Tut.
Yes. I think
As
so.
the tomb,
Yes.
as
Yes.
the mummy of the King Tut,
Yes.
as the golden coffin,
Yes.
gilded coffin of the King Tut,
Yes.
which is still there in the tomb of King Tut in the Valley of the Kings.
Yes.
I'm very happy that after the revolution,
Oui.
as you know and as everybody know,
Yes.
that the number of tourists, they were a little bit
Yes. Yes.
not good.
Not good.
But now I'm very happy. Why? Because the number of the tourists starts going up again.
Oui. Yes.
Everybody start to feel that Egypt is very safe, which is very good, positive point. I don't know why the foreign media, they were attacking us. They say, don't go to Egypt, it's not safe, it's not, which is not true. Once the tourists,
Yes.
they start visiting Egypt,
Yes.
wow, it's very safe.
Yes.
We are very happy that we are here. This is not like what we have heard in our media, in our foreign media. But now everybody, after their visit to Egypt, they became very happy. They start talking to their friends. They start talking to their media. They start talking to their neighbors, the rest of their families, their colleagues. They say Egypt is the most safest place I ever saw.
We saw this each day.
Now we have the number of the tourists
Yes.
getting a little bit okay.
We saw this in Luxor in last November. A lot of people in the temples, in the tomb.
That's right.
It's a
Did you
pleasure.
film them?
Yes.
Good,
Yes,
good.
it's a pleasure. Voilà, c'est sûr.
So that's why I'm very happy.
So I was sad before because the people are poor and they need the tourism to have money to sell some things.
It's not a matter of being poverty or poor or whatever. No, from our deep heart,
Yes.
we as Egyptians, we like tourism.
Oui.
We like the tourists. We like to host them, not only for money.
Yes, of course.
It's also something in our tradition,
Yes.
something in our habit, something in our blood. We have the warm blood to welcome the foreigners in
Yes.
general, either they are tourists or they are guests, and this is in our blood. So we have the warm blood to welcome the foreigners. Either they are tourists or they are not tourists or they are guests. We consider them as a guest. So I would like I would like to remind everybody that it's just in case if one of the tourists he faced any kind of problem, you can find bunch of Egyptians. They go to help, they go to support, they give a hand.
Yes.
Even if we're gonna talk about, for example, if we're gonna talk about Luxor, that the city that you did visit, even a guy, Egyptian guy from Alexandria or from Cairo, not from Luxor, if he was asking for help, they can find that most of the Luxorian guys, they give him a hand, they give him a help, and so this is something in our tradition, as I mentioned.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shukran.
Done?
C'est vrai, wallahi.
It's vrai. It's something from my heart. Really, it's something from my heart. I say.
On sait ça, oui. We often go to Luxor since 20 years. So أنا 50 فرنساوي 50 قرناوية.
Right.
Yes. And we don't comment dire, n'oublie pas. I don't forget. When there was the problem in Hatshepsut temple, you remember? In Hatshepsut temple, the Gurnawi ran after the...
Not only the Gurnawi, everybody.
The guide.
Take my blood.
Yes.
They say, take my blood.
Yes.
Everybody went to the hospital.
Yes.
They say, take my blood. I want to donate my blood.
And
Because
ça,
they can.
C'est terrible. C'est
It's true. It's true. It's true.
C'est vrai. We'll never forget.
Not because of the poor. No. Not because you are...
They help the tourists. Always.
Yeah. My message that I would like to end my speech with, Egypt is safe.
Yes.
Come to Egypt, enjoy it, and finally, what you can see above the ground in Egypt, in the Antiquités I mean, not represent more than 40% of made the land of Egypt hides.
Yes.
Every year? No. Every month? No. Every week? No. Every day there is something new to discover. How many foreign missions are working in Egypt?
More than 100.
In fact, 260 foreign missions.
260.
200? 260? 260 foreign missions from France, from America, from Germany, from Spain, from Italy, from England, from America,
Yes.
from Russia, from Belgium. Wow, I don't want to forget. From Holland.
Yes.
Foreign missions, Polish.
Polish.
Of course. All the missions, they are the most welcome. They work once they are belongs to association, scientific university or something.
Yes.
Anyhow, they do work very safe. They were not as lucky as our Egyptian missions last year and the year before. They discovered something really nice.
Yes.
But they are always the most welcome.
Yes.
They are getting all the support by all the Egyptians. What does it mean also the French or the foreign missions? First of all, I would like to classify the missions. We have three different kind of missions. We have the foreign missions, which is completely foreign mission.
Okay.
We have Egyptian foreign missions, and we have the Egyptian mission.
And Egyptian foreign mission together. Yes.
Like we have the German Egyptian,
Yes.
we have the Spanish Egyptian, we have the French Egyptian, like the one in Karnak, like the center.
Yes, and you in Abu al Naga, it's
Egyptian one.
Egyptian, yes, I
The one in
remember.
Tel Al Aman, Tuna Jabal, Egyptian. The one in Giza area, Egyptian, it was Egyptian. The one in, so we have Egyptian, we have foreign Egyptian, and we have foreign missions.
And in Abu al Naga, there was a German mission too, near.
Next to me, Daniel Bolis,
yes,
the German mission.
yes.
He's supporting me, I support him,
yes.
we are very good friends, we are very good colleagues. He has his own section,
Yes.
site, concession.
Yes.
I have my own site, I have my own concession.
So wonderful.
And whatever you need, I help. Whatever I need, he help.
Yes.
You know, this is the good relation between
Yes.
the different missions, which is very, very good. And this is not the end. Be sure that the coming days is going to be more positive than the last years.
Yes.
First, number of the tourists will increase, inshallah. The second, more museums will be opened.
Oui.
3, more excavations will reveal a lot of antiquities.
Yes. I want to know.
More tombs, more tombs, more discoveries will be.
Yes.
Not only by Egyptian hands, also by foreigners, by Egyptian foreigners, by. Everything I can see it. It's very positive for the coming days,
Yes.
weeks, months.
Yes.
Within this year, 2018, will be up.
Alf Mabrouk.
Thank you.
It was wonderful, and I hope all these good things happen and are happening now.
I will ask you kindly
Yes.
a message
Yes.
from Mustafa to the entire world.
Yes.
Come,
Come.
visit Egypt. Egypt is very safe. Trust your eyes. Trust your ears from your friends who they have been in Egypt.
Oui.
From your colleagues who have been in Egypt. Those are the true message. Egypt is safe, and you are the most welcome to visit Egypt and to see more and to learn more about what we discovered recently in Egypt.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you. Thank you.